to today's episode. Today, I'm chatting with Jill Shortreed, and she has done something that not many balloon professionals have done, and something that I hope to do one day, which is retire. She has retired from her successful balloon business. She has now passed it down to her daughter, and like many creative people, she couldn't stay away long. She has started a new semi-retirement venture as a business strategist. So we are talking about Jill's successful career in balloons, how she eventually left that successful career and now is starting to coach and strategize with not only balloon professionals, but all business owners about how to make those strategic moves in your business so that one day you can also retire comfortably. Let's get into this week's episode with Jill Shortreed. Quick pause, because if you're running a small business and you feel like your brain is holding open 1,000 tiny tabs, this is for you. One of the biggest shifts that I've made in my business and that I've seen successful decorators make over and over is moving from doing everything manually to having a real system behind the scenes. That's why 17 Hats is our exclusive YouTube sponsor for 2026. 17 Hats puts your inquiries, contracts, invoices, questionnaires, emails, and workflows all in one place, so you're not chasing clients, forgetting follow-ups, or reinventing the wheel every single time someone books. Instead of asking, did I send that and what comes next, your business just works. The best part, it doesn't make your business feel more robotic. It actually frees you up to do things that you are meant to do, like be creative, work with clients, spend time with your family, and all with less stress. If you're ready to stop duct taping systems together and start operating like a real business, head to 17hats.com to check it out. Once you have a system, everything else gets easier. All right, let's jump back in. Welcome to the podcast, Jill Shortreed. I feel like you're a good get. You are like balloon legend, and I'm really excited to chat with you today. I think it's going to be hard for you to give yourself a succinct intro because you've lived like 3 lifetimes in the balloon world. Tell us who you are in case people listening have not had the pleasure of meeting you.
Am I? Oh, who am I not? Well, let's start with personally, okay? Married, kids, grandkids. So, Disney head, total Disney adult, like to the hilt. One day we'll do that, like Sarah Meyer podcast Disney thing.
Live from Disney?
Yeah, live at oh my God, how fun would that be?
It would be fun.
Right? I run multiple companies. Recently, I fully exited out and retired out of it. I am not one to sit home, though. So after all these years of finally being able to dedicate the time, I guess that's the best word, that I can help other business people, primarily my balloon friends. So I would love that because I know you guys are so talented, but I want you to make money with it. Like,
yes,
so that's pretty much what I'm doing in a little nutshell.
Well, let's start with your balloon career first, because you've said, I've heard you say you built the largest, how do you frame it? The largest balloon company?
Largest retail balloon shop in North America.
Okay. So how did that start?
Okay.
And how have you grown over these years?
So there's been a lot of shifts. When I first started, I was fully home-based.
Okay.
Moved into retail and then kind of flip-flop, a little bit warehouse and all that stuff, trying to find my group. When Pioneer came out with their politics program, their balloon boutique.
Okay.
We ended up, when I say we, the company, me, ended up investing in it and making it the largest one that anybody had ever.
So this was like a turnkey. They would essentially be like, here are the balloons you need, put them on your walls? Or what was that program? Because I don't think something like that really exists anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if that exists or not. I think Burton kind of does something like that now, I think, but I'm not 100% positive, but I think I saw something similar to that on their site. Almost like a turnkey, you could open up a little boutique type thing. Obviously, it's not to scale of what Pioneer did, but as far as Pioneer, that you couldn't have other people's products with them, kind of like when you did the CBA and all that stuff. So it was like we had a completely dedicated side of the store that was Qualitex and Pioneer only. And then we had everybody else. We had Anagram and Vitalik and whoever back then, really, that was it. That was on the other side of the shop. And then what we did was we, because ours was so large, it was custom done to what I wanted.
Okay.
And it was not necessarily like, oh, you have to have 6 SKUs of this and whatever, whatever, whatever. It was like I worked with them and handpicked it, and then they diagrammed it out and everything and planogrammed it out for me. And then yeah, they came and with a team, and we worked together and we installed everything in the shop. And yeah,
And how
so
long ago was that?
that was in 2021,
Okay.
2021.
Okay. So not long ago.
No,
Okay.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no.
Gotcha. And so I'm so curious about retail because I feel like so many people who are balloon people, like they start home base, they're doing the
Hmm.
installs, and then they open like a cutesy retail shop, and it's like financially, it puts them under. Like that happens all the time. They're like, and then they go back to a warehouse. Like, why did that not happen to you?
Okay. So, first of all, the store was not built for me.
Okay.
This is where I think most people make the mistake. Okay. They build the store that they want and not the store the customer wants.
Interesting.
So if you're going to have a retail store and you're running soap and you're going to be running deliveries and you have a sign on your door that says not here and
Yeah.
somebody's coming to order balloons, like what a term, right? If you don't have consistent business hours, like you're closed at, you're not open on Monday. Wednesdays you close at noon because your kid's out of school, and then on Thursday you don't open until 10 a.m. But on Friday, like you see where I'm going? Like
Exactly, right. And that's
you
what
know,
most
yeah,
do. They're kind of like
right,
operating it as like a combo studio
yeah,
slash
no,
walk-ins, but like you can't really walk in if you're not always open. So
correct. And I
yeah,
think that's where people, they don't. They also, I don't think, understand what the full magnitude of what the expenses are. Like,
yeah,
okay, so rent's $2,000. My rent was over 2,000. But God, I wish. But my rent's $2,000, and that's what it's going to cost me, and go through the whole spiel. No, like between your utilities and your insurance, and everything else that you have to carry, and oh my God, did you read that lease? Because that water main break that just happened is your responsibility now, or the AC went out, it's your responsibility. Oh
yeah,
my gosh, did you know that you are responsible in majority of leases for the AC and the maintenance of it, having it serviced? Like, have you calculated all that?
yeah.
So there's a lot to it. I also, what I did, this is how I decided that I could do it was before I made the leap into what was going to be that store, I operated for 6 to 8 months as if I was already in that store.
Okay.
So I already knew what my bills were going to be calculated, right? I estimated that.
Yeah.
I already knew what I was going to have to charge to adjust all that. How much was it going to cost for me to have employees and all that stuff? So I priced everything as if I was in the shop.
Okay.
Because if you're going to price everything like you're working from home, and you're going to sell a balloon garland for $50, that's not going to fly unless you're doing massive quantity in retail. And if you're only one person, you can't pump out that kind of
Yeah.
quantity. Like it's physically impossible. The one thing you can't do is clone yourself. I wish we
Yeah.
could, but we can't. So I think that is the difference. Like
Yeah.
I've always built, and I know you haven't, but if you've ever sat in one of my classes, I
I
even
know,
tell
I
you
never
to
got
just,
to. You have to keep teaching because I never got to take a Jill Shortreed business class.
um, but I even tell people like when they're stressed about getting their first employee, how do I know I can afford it? Start paying a separate account as if you already had that employee.
Mm,
Okay. When you can put that money away for 6 months and not touch it, then you can afford that employee. Okay. So maybe, and that's not just like if you're paying somebody $20 an hour, it's not $20 an hour. It's really going to cost you more like $35 an hour.
right,
Like,
right,
like most people don't realize that by the time you pay the insurances and the employment taxes and all that stuff, it's not $20 an hour.
right.
So, are you able to put that away and afford somebody? And
Yeah.
the other thing most people do, well, I'll just outsource it or hire them as a 1099. Well, by law, you actually can't.
Yeah.
I can't put my shirt on somebody that's 1099 and say you're representing me and tell you when to show up because that is an employee. That's
Right.
not a subcontractor.
Right, right.
So
Well,
yeah,
and
so
especially
that's
when if you're talking retail, yeah,
right.
you can't be like, "Okay, be here. These are your hours. I'm scheduling you. You're in my shop doing the thing I want you to." Like, that is 100% an employee. Unless it's like a virtual assistant, it's like it's playing with fire.
Right. Yeah. Oh, somewhere somebody's going to catch you
Yeah.
somewhere, or something's going to happen that you're not insured for.
Yeah.
And um, when that happens, like, I feel for you. Um, and I know that a lot of us have this mistake. I mean, I was guilty of it. I'm sure you were guilty of it. I'm just going to get my husband to be my free labor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, everyone does.
Right. So, but in reality, that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable for your relationship. It's
And
also
it's
not
exactly, and it's
sustainable.
not fair. Like, if they have a
Yeah.
job and you're just like,
Right.
"Oh, do your job and then also come and help me with mine."
Yeah. For free. Because guess
Exactly.
what? We can go out to dinner tonight because I sold a balloon garland. Like
Right.
that's not compensation. Like
Well, and
that's
you're actually let's talk about that though, because your family is very involved. Your husband has been
yeah.
involved for a while. How long
Hmm.
has he was he I guess I didn't know. Was he a formal employee of the business, or I just met him at a convention, so I guess I don't know how much he was involved.
So Scott has a regular full-time job. He works for the
Okay.
post office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the reason you see him at conventions all the time is because of all the years I've taught. He would always just he'd be my bag boy.
Yeah.
He's so sweet. Like just, oh, go get me this, go get me whatever. So he just got tired of standing around doing nothing.
Yeah.
So he approached Steve Jones one day and said, "Dude, you need some help, like, because I'm with Jill anyway." So, and that's kind of how he evolved into the
Gotcha.
helping the
Gotcha.
production side of things.
And then
As far
your
as
daughter
being,
is super involved as well. We'll get to that later, but like your daughter
yeah,
has taken over your business. So it is a
she
family
has.
business. Yeah.
Yes, completely. Yep. So completely. Scott has no ownership in the business.
Okay.
So no, as
Okay.
far as that. Um, Majority of the time, we have things that so systematic that um, after COVID, we really had to evaluate stuff
Okay.
because to this day, like in Charleston, it is really hard to get employees,
Hmm.
like really hard.
Okay.
Like nobody wants to work. So we learned how to kind of rein everything back,
Okay.
simplify, um, quantify, very much um, just totally make everything systematic, almost like anybody could walk in, do anything.
Yeah.
We we had what I would consider a not a large fleet, but a nice fleet. We had 3 vans.
Okay.
We're down to 2 because and now we've left with DoorDash and Uber are
Okay.
now also delivery services for us, which is great because it works on their platforms also, so it's a form of marketing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and it integrates into our POS system, so it all comes out of inventory and everything else. So it was
Yeah.
really a lengthy process to get that done.
Well, I feel like I don't know if you can remember back to when you weren't all systemized or organized, but like, do you remember a time where like you were just doing it all wrong? Like, did you have any moments where you're just like, oh my God, I need to, something has to change? Because I feel like sometimes things are going well and then it's like you almost scale up and then you hit this like new phase of chaos and you're just
Hmm.
like right now,
I
I'm
call it
kind of in
chaos
this.
and caffeine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of in this messy middle now where it's like I'm big enough that I need employees, but not so big enough that like they always have something to do. So it's always like I don't know, it's kind of like up a rung on the ladder and then back down and then but how like when was a time where you were like us normal people and you were kind of like faking it until you make it?
So my comeback to that is fake. Don't fake it till you make it. Learn it till you earn it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I always like if you were to look at my like amount of business books I read and
Yeah.
the amount of audiobooks that I listen
Yes.
to, it's just like freaking off the chart. Like
Yeah.
the amount of information that I consume to this day, because I believe if you're not learning, like you stop growing.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to learn something from you. I'm going to learn something from some newbie where I was like, huh,
Yeah.
it's like, never looked at it that
So,
way.
like, you never really let it live in that chaos stage because you were like, someone out there has the solution and I'm going to
Somebody
find it.
does. I
Yeah.
mean, so we're blessed enough to be in a time when information is at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When my first business existed, my very first business, it was the yellow pages.
Yeah.
And you started your company name with an A
Yeah.
so that you were first listed. And to this day, I will drive this home to everybody. If you want the business, you better answer your phone.
Hmm.
Point blank. Like
Yeah.
it was the same thing if you go by the old yellow pages, somebody went down the row until somebody answered that phone. It is
Yeah.
going to be the same exact thing, even with the age of this whole internet and
Yeah.
everything else. Like if you don't answer your phone, they're moving on.
Yeah. Right.
It's just, I know there are companies that operate in like, hey, I'm not answering my phone. You're answering during carpool line, whatever, your business. You do what you do, whatever works for you. Maybe mom sympathizes. I have always believed that you answer the phone, you answer it professionally. When I was working from home and I did not want to be tied to my phone because my kids were pretty involved with sports and stuff like that,
Mhm.
I actually hired an outside answering service.
Okay.
So my calls would port over to them. They would answer my call. They would take the messages, and then I would get a email or I think it was a text message that popped up and said, you have whatever.
Yeah.
And then
You could call
they
them
could
back
be
when you
trained.
weren't,
Yeah,
yeah, at a
they
soccer
could
game
be.
or
They could
something.
also be trained to actually take the order. You just
Yeah.
had to process it out for them, and they
Yeah.
could actually take it. Now back then, we were doing Balloon Planet,
Okay.
so they were able to just direct customers to our link, in which they could just really see we're online.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. Let's reverse real quick though. Well, off the
yeah.
top of your head, what are some of your favorite business books? Some recommendations that you think people should read if they have a balloon business.
Oh, don't read anything in the balloon world. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay.
Look outside your
Yeah.
industry.
I agree.
I find my best inspiration comes from totally outside. I love uh, Mike McAllowitz. I know you like him
Love
too.
him. Yeah. Pumpkin
Yes.
Plan. That's like my
Yep.
whole, I love it.
um, let's see. Oh my God. Hold on.
Are you like woo woo at all? Do you read any like manifesting stuff or are you like, that's crap?
No, I don't think it's crap.
Okay.
Um, I think I'm going to tell you my first book that I
Purple
ever read.
Cow. I read that one
Purple
too.
Cow.
Yep.
This is great.
Yeah.
Um, and Blue Ocean Strategy.
I've never heard of
The-
that.
that
I'm
one's
going to
a
write
great
down
one too.
Blue
Those
Ocean
two,
Strategy. Okay.
Blue Ocean Strategy. Yeah. Those
Perfect.
two, like were my first two books. So, do I believe in manifesting? Yes and no. Okay. And I'm going to say yes and no because, do I believe I can just sit here and go, and it'll come to me? No.
Right.
But, but do I believe that if you say something enough times, you will almost like, brainwash yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
True. I do believe in that. I
Okay.
also think if you walk around going, this shit sucks, like, and you walk around like that all day, you're going to live in that this shit sucks
Yeah.
world. Like, so I think it's, that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Cool. Okay. So you grew this massive company.
yeah,
You're one of the
it wasn't
rare
always that way. I started in New Jersey. So I've done this twice.
you didn't move your company, you just started over?
I started, yeah,
Oh,
I did.
interesting.
Hmm.
Then you're like one of the only people I can ask this question to. Retirement. Like you've like most people haven't gotten to this point. Even like the OGs are still just like working in their business and I'm always so curious like how am I going to retire from this? Like I don't we don't have pensions. If you're going to sell your business for a ton of money, like I just don't think most people are going to do that or can do that. But
So I
like
think what I
how
think
did you do
is,
it? How did you transition out? And you're still like, look, you're sitting in a beautiful home. You're not homeless.
no, I'm not homeless. Well, actually, we're in a rental at the moment because we're building our new house.
Okay,
So,
so you're really not roughing it.
no, we, so most people build a company. And
Mhm.
what I think you need to do is when you build a company, you need to know what your out is also. Like,
Yes.
why are you building this company? Like your why is your biggest reason. Like
Mhm.
what was your why? When you started, what was your why?
I wanted the freedom. I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah, I know,
Are
right?
you working more hours now than what you were?
Well, I'm not answering to someone else. I guess it's more that.
Okay.
I like calling the shots. Sometimes I wish
Okay.
I wasn't calling all of them, but
Okay.
yeah.
But do you see how most people say that freedom, but actually when I challenge you on that, it was, or, they want like, whatever. But when I actually peel that back,
I know.
like
Sometimes
that
I
wasn't
literally say, I'm
actually
like,
what
I've
you
built myself
wanted.
a prison made out of balloons. I'm just like fully stuck.
I mean, we wanted the freedom to work 80 hours a week for less than minimum wage. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
we didn't want anybody else to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I totally get it. So, if you don't build your company like from the get-go, right? With what am I going to do?
Mhm.
Am I building it just because I want to make enough money for us to go on vacation,
Mhm.
right? And then I don't care what happens after the fact. Okay, yay you. Like that's
Right.
wonderful if that's what you really want.
And some people
But if
don't.
you
Like some people, their husband is they're going to retire or their partner, they're going to retire, they have the benefit, whatever. That's totally fine. I
yeah.
don't have that. So I'm always concerned of like, okay, am I investing the right way? Am I like what should the end game be? So I love that you've done this. I feel
So
like
I'm
just most
assuming you
people
pull your own paycheck, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So and then you put in a 401 of some sort
Yeah,
or
so I we have like
uh,
Roth IRAs and like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
Yeah.
SEP
So
now I just opened. Yeah.
so you have something.
Right, right.
So um so anyway, so if you end up building it and you have no like end game,
Mhm.
right? It's like you're going to end up doing one of two things. You're going to be one of the people on Facebook or whatever going, somebody buy my stuff. And
Yeah.
here's a prop with balloon people. We are emotionally attached to what we paid for it, and it's not worth a fraction of what we paid for it.
Right.
So we all need to get over that. Like when it
Right.
comes
Your
to like me putting it in
$1,500
the
inflator
balloon.
is
Yeah.
gonna sell for
I
like
mean, the
300
balloon you
bucks.
still have sitting in your stockroom from the 80s, that's a one-sided print from Unique, is
Yeah.
not worth anything unless you're a collector of
Yeah.
like Hello Kitty or something like that. Like it's not like it's not gonna be the value of what we paid for it.
Right.
So we need to get over that. So you're gonna end up selling off for bits, okay?
Mhm.
Um, you cannot sell your company unless it's processed out.
What
So
is that?
that's
What do you mean?
everything. What's that?
What does that mean?
So processed out. So processed out is our process policies, processes,
Gotcha,
procedures.
gotcha. Like stuff is
So,
out of
yeah.
your
So
brain.
it is everything from what happens when you put that key in that door in the morning to what happens when you put that key back in the door at night,
Okay.
and everything in between. Everything from we have a hurricane coming. What's the hurricane prep procedure?
Hmm.
Uh, the power went out. What's the safety procedure for customers in the store? There's a shooter policy.
Yeah.
Like what happens if there's a shoot? Everything. What happens when you get a chargeback? What happens when you get what happens if you get to an accident with the van? Like what
Yeah.
is the whole procedure for that? What
Yeah.
happens when you get to a job and somebody changes their mind? Or you have to change it because it's not safe.
Yeah.
Like how do you cover yourself for all that stuff?
Ugh.
So there is
What you're
so
saying
many
is I'm not prepared to sell my business. It's coming
again,
from someone who has none of those procedures.
okay. Um, so the more you have that policy out and
Mhm.
procedure out, the more valuable your company comes in. Because
Okay.
if somebody truly is going to pay you the worth of your company, they're not buying your company to work the hours that you're working
Yeah.
because that would be full. They're
Right.
coming in to buy the company because they're buying it as an investment and they want nothing to do with it and they're going to have employees do it. And the only
Right.
way to have employees do it is with procedures, recipes, but everything.
Sure.
So
Sure. So it's not, I mean, based on that, then, do you think it's really unlikely that balloon company, the average balloon person would ever be looking at selling their company for more than parts?
I mean,
I do. I think it's hard. I mean, like, I think
you're
your
not
best
going to
bet is,
sell to another balloon person. If you're selling
yeah,
to another balloon person, it's for parts.
yeah, or like
Right.
literally your client list or the name.
Right. So we have a very strong reputation. We have a very extensive reputation,
Yeah.
and client list, and big players and all that stuff. So
Right. But you didn't do either of these. You didn't sell. Your daughter has taken over. So are you still the owner and she runs it, or how does that work? That's a nosy question, but like I think some people do that. You don't have to give me like the, more than you want to share, but I know there's other people too. They're like, when I'm done, I don't really care. I just want to be done, and my kids have expressed interest in taking it over. And then
well,
I
my
know
kids
other
didn't want
people.
anything to do with it.
Yeah, right. But I know other people who have had to buy it from their parents because they're like, well, I have other kids and I'm not just handing them a business. So like,
Right.
like what, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, what did that handover process look like, and how involved
Yeah.
are you still?
So none of my kids wanted anything to do with the company, point blank, including Bailey, who's the one there now. So after it was a lot of conversations, and this has been going on for years because she's been working with me for years. What happened was, after COVID, she got done with school. So she graduated college. And then she came home, and we let her live kind of like rent free at the house. Well, she did live rent free at the house, just in the exchange of paying off her student loan. So she then worked for us, and it just one thing led to another, and then she just got really involved.
Mm.
And it's you trust more. I know balloon people have a big trust issue. Like, oh my God, I'm not going to train somebody because they're going to go off and do their own thing,
Yeah.
and whatever. You can try all the non-competes you want, but they're not going to hold up.
Right.
So whatever. Just whatever. Anyway, so um so she came in, and eventually what I would do is we had staff. I mean, again, this was right after COVID. We had a staff, leading up to COVID, I had a staff of 8.
Okay.
After COVID, it pared down to 5. And then, slowly people just started dropping off because like, oh, my friend's not working, collecting unemployment or whatever
Yeah.
subsidiary or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I'm going to sit home and do whatever. So we cycled through a lot of employees, and she obviously was a staying power because you know because I held the rent over her head.
Yeah.
um, but so yeah, so she was a staying power, and then she pretty much became the like second in command. And then we ended up hiring an office person. We outsourced a lot because that was the easiest way.
Hmm.
And then a couple of years ago, I was like, all right, I'm really getting ready. Scott was supposed to retire this year. He actually was supposed to retire last month. But we're building a new house, so that's not
Okay.
going to happen. So he's got to suck it out for a few more years. So we were going to kind of be done at this point and
Okay.
live in La La Land on our property and go to Disney. Like that was
Yeah.
our,
Yeah.
like,
Living the dream.
yeah. So, so then she ended up just taking over. And then we had a lot of deep dive conversations. She was in, she was out. She was in, she was out. I don't
Okay.
know. And she's still young. I mean, she's in her 27, so she's still young. So then what we came on was, okay, you can run it. These are the conditions, right? We laid them all out. You are free to sell the company. She's allowed to sell the company.
Hmm.
However, there's a sliding scale. The longer she holds it, the more she keeps.
Okay.
So if she decides in 2 years she wants to sell it, the bigger percentage comes, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, because and I'm still there to help her. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
so sometimes you just go there to hang out, just to have somebody to talk to.
Has
So,
she done anything that you're like really impressed with? Has she done anything that you wouldn't have done that you're like, oh, that's a great idea?
um, she, I mean, she's been rocking the website a
Okay.
lot. So, she does a lot of the product. So she pretty much handles a lot of that.
Yeah.
She can rock Canva like it's great, nobody's
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So she handles that. a lot. So she does that really well.
Yeah, that's cool.
She
That's
did
mine are
grab the
sorry, go
DoorDash
ahead.
account. So
Well,
she
yeah,
got
that's
those.
cool. The
Yeah.
deliveries.
Yeah. So that helps, free up some time again because we're running on um, minimal staff. So
Yeah.
it is really hard to,
So did you start this before they were even born? You had to have, right? Or, like, around the same time?
um, so my first company was, when my older three were
Okay.
babies, but they're from a different husband.
Okay.
So, my Scott, when I was expecting Bailey, the one that runs the company now, was when I kind of like I was working in a bank, so I was working in finance. And then, yeah, I just didn't want to go back to it.
Yeah.
I the other kids were a little bit bigger, so they were in school, but now
Mhm.
I had a baby.
Yeah.
So, but you talk about like boundaries and like raising kids, and they all grew up, you know, inside the company, and pretty much all of them, with the exception of one of them, runs their own company. So I
Yeah,
think there's a
like,
lot,
they saw it, right?
yeah, there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah.
Um, but on the flip side, I was horrible with boundaries. Like I literally
Yeah,
was
I
in
am
labor
too.
the entire I was in labor the entire day and in denial.
Oh my god. I tried to schedule my induction after a job, and my doctor was like, "You're insane." I'm like, "Please, it's a really big job. Just let me deliver it, and then I'll come."
I mean, right? Is that not nuts? So we're like that. It's like,
I know.
but
But
yeah, I
I
was
will
in,
say, I do feel like as a working mom, I feel like everyone's like, "Oh, boundaries, and you have to be there for your kids, and you have to," like, yes, but also I think it's okay to set boundaries with your kids and be like, I'm working. Like, how, like, you gotta go play. I'm on the computer. It's not like a sin for your children to see you making the money that puts the
mm-mm,
roof over their head. Like, I don't know. Both my parents worked. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, and Jovi sees me. She comes down here and sees the balloons. She sits here and pretends to podcast. Like, she understands
mhm,
what work looks like, and I think that's cool. Yeah, like my mom was a teacher, my dad was a lawyer, so like regular jobs. So I think it's harder for me to get in like self-employment zone. It's why I stayed at my corporate job for so long because I was like, surely it's too risky to work for myself. And now I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's risky going to a job and not knowing if you're going to get fired on a random Tuesday. Like it's a lot
right?
more stable to actually kind of control some of those factors. But anyway, all that to say, I think you're more likely to have your own business if you've seen it in action.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was self-employed. I
Mhm.
mean, I came from nothing. Like I had the '60s. Your mom put a bowl on your head and cut your hair, like cut, and I mean, we were so poor that in first grade, I fell,
Okay.
broke my front teeth.
Oh,
I did not have a front tooth until I went to high school because my
oh
parents
my
could not afford
gosh.
it.
Oh my gosh. My daughter just did that. She chipped her front line. She's 2, so they're not gonna, like, do anything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, my
No,
2-year-old doesn't have a tooth."
this was a permanent one, and it wasn't a
Oh
chip. It
my
was a clear up,
god.
like no tooth.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, so you're out of your business now. Let's transition
Mhm.
and talk about your next chapter because
Mm.
all of a sudden I just saw this pop up on Facebook and I was like, "Wait a minute. Like, what is this?" So, you're coaching or tell us
Okay,
what you're doing.
so not necessarily coaching because to me a coach is somebody who's gonna rah rah you.
Okay.
So I don't look at it as coaching. I go at it for more of a strategic point.
Okay.
So yeah. So the company's name is Fable and Firm. The reason it was chosen was every business should start with a story. So you
Mm,
should have a brand story, right? Um, so this is my origin story for the most part, right? I come up,
yeah.
I've taught in the past, now I want to continue on. And Fable comes from writing out your story.
Okay.
Firm comes from holding firm, literally, on your boundaries, your prices, everything that encompasses.
Yeah.
So that's how, the name came about. It was a lot of back and forth, um, and all that. So pretty much what I help people with at this point are strategy calls. So again, if you've ever caught me at a convention, or whatever, everybody's like, can I please talk to you? Can I please talk to you? This is your
Right.
opportunity to talk to me. Right. So you can set up a strategy call with me. We're going to find and we're going to pluck. So like you had said, when I asked you why you started your business and you were like, uh, the real root was like freedom,
Hmm.
right? So it's like peeling back those layers because most people are going to come at me and tell me a symptom of something that is actually deeper and they're only seeing the symptom.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's like
interesting.
going to the doctor and saying, I have a sore throat. Okay. Well, if I just treat a sore throat, I don't know if it's strep throat. I don't know if it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so we have that. So that's the strategy tool.
And like,
Right
plug
now,
your actual service because I looked at it and I felt like it was very affordable.
you
I've looked at other coaches where I'm like, I get in my head like I need a podcast coach, and I'm like, it's $8,000. Like maybe I don't actually need a podcasting coach. And I
my
felt like your rates were very approachable.
thank you. So my exclusive one, okay, which I actually have no slots for at the moment,
Okay.
is I only take 2 clients. Okay, so this is my upper end. And it's a 3-month commitment with me. It's $1,250 a month, and we get 2 calls a month. We work through, the whatever the struggle is. But in that also is I actually have a team of people that I resource with that
Okay.
are part of me that will help with the social media. So, if, like, you need a social media audit, like they're
Gotcha.
going to come
Gotcha.
in and they're going to audit. You need the website audit, they're going to come in and audit. Now, you need stuff fixed; those are add-ons.
Yeah.
It still amazes me how many balloon companies have absolutely, absolutely no website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know
still,
how people sell anything without a website.
I have been so I have been amazed in this process of reaching out to balloon people because I created just a balloon, like a smaller package for balloon people because I know a lot of them don't have the money. Like
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
know if they want to do this or they don't understand the value of education until they actually understand the value of education. Then it's like they want to suck it all in.
Hmm.
The amount of people that I have been messaging and talking to online that have no autoresponders on anything, you know, uh, that the only marketing they're doing, which is not even really marketing. I mean, it is marketing, but it's not marketing, is just putting stuff on Facebook Market.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah. Ooh.
yeah. And I'm like, do you know what,
Like
like,
you're
of
already
course
starting
you're
at the
only
bottom.
charging $10 for it because that's all Facebook Market is gonna pay you for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like all those little things that I'm like, we could all just kind of come together and understand how to make it as a full business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is my upper side
Okay.
is working that way. The one below that is the build out. So that'd be like if you came to me and the build out would be a good one for you. So what that would be is we're going to work through a process for you, and
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and we're going to process out a part of your business
Cool.
and
That's
have it
really
done.
cool.
Yeah. So
Because I feel like I have heard that many times. I've been at conventions. Oh, you need an SOP for this. And you're like, okay. Or even like, you need to hire help. And it's like, uh, if I knew how to do that well, I would have done it. Like it's
okay.
like, there's all these steps that you're just like, okay.
Yeah. So here's my biggest thing. You can have everybody tell you that, but if you don't know your why, which is
Yeah.
your strategy, you're going to be throwing stuff at the fan. So you're just
Yeah.
going to be throwing, I mean, honestly, like I know I think 17 hats, right? Is that you?
Hmm. Yep.
Like okay. We use that too. Um, but I can tell you how many ones we've been through, like the Sabo and, I don't even know, like the bazillion of them.
Ebook. There's like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of them. Right. And it's like, cause she just like, wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. If you go at it with buying like and even like the workforce like Trello and Planoly and all those guys, right?
Hmm.
Everybody's looking for this little magic formula to fix everything.
Yes.
It doesn't exist. You don't need it. Do you know what my best? I'm going to give you this. You want your dream life? We talked about manifesting.
Yeah.
It's your Google calendar. You're going to create a calendar that says Sarah's future self, and you're
Okay.
going to freaking schedule out your next year. as if you were living that dream.
Cool.
At the end of the year, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put those two calendars on top of one another, and you're actually going to see how they have aligned or where you're missing your point.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
So it works like a charm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Another
So
one, just to back to the authors. He's not, I don't think he's an author, but Jesse Itzler. Do you know him? He's like the big
I
ass
don't.
calendar guy. You should look him up because he's very much like you plan your year like that first. Like you plan the stuff you want to do, and
Yeah.
then your meetings and your work, it fills in around it. He's like, you're never going to get to the end of the year and be like, I wish I had had more meetings. I wish I had sent
It's
more
true.
emails.
I
It's
mean,
like
it is
oh,
so
at least
true.
I went to Disney 3 times. Like that was what we scheduled. Well, that's like a normal.
This
You go
month.
like 50.
Dan Martell too. Buy back your time.
Oh, yeah, that one was great. I loved him.
That's yeah. So I mean, total like time is the one thing. I don't care who you are. You can be the president of the United States. He's got 24 hours. I got 24 hours. That does not change.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So knowing
Interesting.
that, but
Cool. Okay.
but yeah, try that little trick of like go in and schedule like, oh, like I put in like when all our Disney trips work. Like I don't work on Fridays. I don't start work until 10, and it's like, okay, how does this all line up? Like
Yeah.
when does my housekeeper come? When does my landscaper come? Like
Yeah. Oh, that's
all
fun.
everything,
Yeah.
when are Scott's and I's date night? When do I go to the gym? Like everything. And then you
Yeah.
see how that actually pairs up. So
Cool. Cool.
it's kind of cool and amazing. Um,
Awesome.
so, but anyway, back to the whole calendar, how we diverted down that is, if everybody is kind of clamoring to find that next magic thing that's going to fix everything, which
Mhm.
does not actually exist, because you can keep chasing and throwing dollars. I don't know about you, but I could not tell you how many unwatched webinars I have downloaded.
Oh, yeah. I sign up for everything. Yeah.
Right. And so you sign up for it, but you don't watch it
Yeah.
because you don't have the time, because you
Or
didn't
like
make the priority of
courses
time. It
or what.
wasn't,
Yeah. I just
yeah,
signed up for one. Like I'm going to be a textile pattern designer. Like, what am I talking about? Like, I get like, it's just like sparkly object syndrome. And I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. That'll like, no, I need to stay focused.
squirrel in a tornado. That's what I call that.
Please.
But so everybody chasing all these things like these programs, the whatever, these quick fixes, like how do I
Mhm.
make money and all that stuff. If you don't approach it with the reason why from the back end, you're just going
Yeah.
to keep repeating this vicious cycle, being like, oh, that program didn't work because, oh, that program didn't work because. Well, the program didn't work because you don't know why you needed the program to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
So in a nutshell, if I could give you like that little like speech, that is what I do.
Mm. Yeah.
So I
Cool.
help
So
you
then you said
figure
that
out.
you have your top tier, your middle. Do you have anything
Mhm.
lower than that or it's just those two?
So
Like, how do we dip
so we
our
have the
toe
top
in?
tier. We have we have the advisory suite, which are our top one. We have the build it, which is the one helping build processes. Then we have the strategy calls. So those you can either do singly or you can buy a 3-pack and save.
Okay.
And they can be spaced out however you want. And then right now working on it's not a workbook and it's really not a course because I don't know how else to describe it, but it's kind of like a self-guided book in which you're going to go through the 5 key points of your
Cool.
business. And then it's going to work. It's about 200 and something pages.
Okay.
So it's pretty big. With that comes membership to the community table, which is the membership group that nobody else can get in except for that group.
Okay. So
So
everyone's been through kind of the same
yeah.
thing.
So yeah,
Cool.
the same thing. And then there'll be little videos and stuff throughout the month. And then there'll be a single call and then there'll be a hot seat call once a
Cool.
month. So yeah,
Well, that is so exciting. How long have you been doing this? Like, when did you officially
start teaching
launch
or,
Fable and Firm?
oh, when beginning of the year was the official launch.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So 6 months, little give or take. Are you having
yeah,
fun? Are you enjoying
yeah,
it? Obviously.
I mean, it's always, I mean, if you could see the DMs that I've always had in my messages phone, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like, so to be able to actually do that now. And the nice thing is too, without having a guard around me, like I'm free to say whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
don't have
that
to
is great.
I don't have to censor anything.
Yeah. And
So,
you're not sponsored by a certain company. You
nope,
don't have to like only recommend
nope.
certain things.
Right.
And you are doing this for non-balloon people as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. But
Yep.
you just, so many of us know and love you. And I mean, I think that that's like the extra secret sauce to have some sort of, strategist who also knows our industry. Even though, would you agree or disagree? We're not that weird. Like, I feel like we think like, oh, but it's balloons. Is it all kind of the same? Like what
So
industry you're in?
it doesn't matter. So I'm going to say business is business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you're selling.
Yeah.
The premise is the same. I do think if you want to see, what did you do in your corporate job?
First, I was a teacher, and then I worked at a college.
Okay. So what did you do at the college?
I was an administrative assistant for the arts, so I
Okay.
was a professional email sender, essentially.
Okay. Did you have to fundraise or anything?
um, I mean, it was the arts, so I felt like we never had money. Everything was a fundraiser, but not really. I wasn't like in development or anything. So
Okay. Okay. So I think that for anybody who wants to enter like the balloon world or any business,
Mhm.
that it is really important that you take a sales position.
Mm.
Because I think if you can't sell, like you got to sell yourself.
Yeah,
You have to sell your product. You have to sell the bank if you need a loan. Like you got to master sales. Like
yeah.
everything else, I think is teachable. Sales is one thing that really needs like to be honed in on, and I
Okay.
think that definitely sales.
Yeah, the balloons are like not the main thing. I've always thought that. I'm like they're a lot, but it's like if you're going to spend your time learning the business and sales or more balloon skills, it's like you're probably good to go on the balloons, honestly. Like once
Yeah,
you know
well,
like
yeah. So if somebody approaches it like, oh, look at what I made. Like, I'm gonna sell this. Like, look at this adorable little bouquet, right? If you're selling me the bouquet, I don't want it, and I'm not paying value for it. If you're telling me, like, look at this bouquet I just made because you forgot your grandson's birthday,
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you've solved a problem for me. Over here, you're asking me to buy something. Here, you've solved a problem for me.
Yeah.
And when you can go at it where you solve problems for people with the balloon, so it's like, don't go at it with, instead of smearing what Amazon sells and what people are doing, who cares? Go at it as in like, don't stress that your Amazon driver hasn't shown up and that you don't have it. Like, you know, whatever. We made the guarantee. We started this years ago. You can get an entire party package in 2 hours or less, ordered online.
I remember. That's crazy. That's crazy. How did you do that? Like how could you actually guarantee that?
How can we guarantee that?
Yeah.
So
You
we
just
have
had
an
the
inventory.
staff. You had people.
Well, even with a minimal staff. So everything is processed out. Customer orders online. There is none of this like um, back and forth with customers because that's what takes time, which most of us did not charge for.
Yeah.
So, okay, customer ends up buying $100 garland, right? How much time did you actually spend on that garland?
Right. The
Like
colors and
from
matching to their
start
logo
to
and all this
finish.
stuff.
I bet you made 90 cents an hour on that job.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like if you did all the admin work and everything that went along with that. So by having pre-curated packages, right? Everything is recipeed out. An employee knows exactly what to pull, exactly what to make, and the customer chooses, do they want to come pick it up? Do they want it delivered or do they want it installed? So
Mm.
those are your three options.
Yeah.
So somebody could literally place an order up till 2 o'clock in the afternoon and have it delivered before 8 o'clock tonight,
Wow.
or a garland and a bunch of jumbos and whatever else goes along with
Or
that.
they could come pick it up 2 hours later?
Yeah, 2 hours later or
That's
sooner,
crazy. That's awesome.
guaranteed.
That's
So,
awesome. That's really cool.
so that's what makes us different is that we actually stand by a guarantee.
Yeah.
So, as long as it's in stock, we
Instead of
guarantee it.
Amazon. Yeah, they're like 2 day, and if it doesn't come, they're just like, sorry, like
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Like who are you gonna
So,
complain to?
yeah. Good luck with that finding that number.
Exactly. Well, are
But
we gonna see you around? I mean, you're retired from balloons. Are you ever gonna come to any balloon stuff? Like, do you have
we'll
enough
always
friends?
come around and Yeah, I
You
will
have a lot
come
of friends in the
around.
industry, I'm assuming, that, like, it's the
Yeah.
easiest
I
way
mean,
to see them.
Scott has shifted into that role now where he helps, at events and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I'll be his tag along.
That's so funny. Now you're his wing woman.
Yeah, but I'm not carrying bag. That ain't happening.
Well, where can people find you? Let's wrap up, but tell everyone where to go and see all of that you have to offer.
Yeah. So website is Fable, Fable, and andfirm.com. Also on Instagram and TikTok at the same handle. And so yeah. I mean,
Well,
real
great.
easy,
Everyone should
easy
go
to
over and
learn.
give Jill a follow for support on her new
Yeah.
adventure. And I'm so excited to finally get to sit down with you.
Hey, thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so
Great.
much.
Loved it. All right. Bye.